Wait a second, did that really just happen? Charleston White, the internet's perennial wildcard, just did something even his wildest critics didn't see coming. Late last night, he dialed 911 on Tia Kemp. You read that right. The man known for stirring up drama and never backing down from a verbal sparring match actually called the police. And this wasn't your average social media spat that fizzles out after a few heated posts this time. Things spiraled so far beyond the usual online back and forth that real-life consequences entered the chat. It all kicked off during what seemed like a typical late-night livestream session. Charleston had been online for about an hour, doing what he does best, ranting, laughing, pulling no punches. Tia Kemp's name came up, and instead of the usual shade and insults, things got serious fast. Viewers could hear Charleston's tone shift, his words got sharper, less about jokes and more about grievances that sounded personal. And then, shockingly, he told everyone watching that he was about to make a call. True to his word, Charleston picked up his phone midstream and dialed 911. What followed left tens of thousands of viewers absolutely floored. This ain't no internet game, Charleston said into the camera as the call connected. I'm calling the real laws. People watching thought he might be bluffing, putting on a show like he's done so many times before. But then they heard it clear as, Day 911, what's your emergency? Charleston didn't hold back. According to clips now circulating all over social media, he told dispatchers that he felt threatened by Tia Kemp's recent statements online. His exact words, repeated across Twitter threads and reaction videos. She's making threats to me. This ain't just no Instagram stuff. I fear for my life. That's the moment everything shifted. In real time, viewers saw the line between internet theatrics and real-world action get crossed. This wasn't content anymore, it was a police matter. Now let's be clear. Charleston White isn't new to controversy. His whole brand is built on pushing boundaries, saying the things most people wouldn't dare say publicly. But this it felt different. The fact that he'd take things to such an official level caught both fans and critics off guard. Immediately after the livestream ended, clips and screenshots began flooding social platforms. Twitter timelines were full of captions, like Charleston really called the cops on Liv, and is this real or is it all for show? The reactions were divided. Some people praised Charleston for playing it smart instead of letting things escalate dangerously. If you feel threatened, you're supposed to call the authorities. One commenter wrote, ain't nothing funny about real safety concerns. But just as many people accused him of overreacting or worse, of weaponizing the system for attention. Bro's the same guy who talks about standing on business, but now he's calling 911. Another viewer posted, this gotta be a clout move. Meanwhile, Tia Kemp wasted no time responding. Within an hour of the livestream, she jumped online herself, going live on Instagram to address what had just happened. Laughing through most of her stream, she made it clear she wasn't taking Charleston's call too seriously. He really called the police on me. Me. Man, that's wild. I ain't never threatened that man. Y'all know me, talk my talk, but that's all it is, talk. Her tone was defiant, brushing off the whole situation as another episode in the never-ending cycle of online beef. But beneath the jokes, there was also a sharp edge to her words, like she wasn't about to let this slide quietly. The fallout has been immediate. News outlets, YouTube commentators, and bloggers jumped on the story. Headlines now read things like Charleston White files, official complaint against Tia Kemp, and internet beef turns police matter. Even mainstream media sources that usually stay away from internet drama picked it up, noting the growing trend of social media feuds spilling over into the real world. What's especially striking is how this incident highlights the blurry line between online content and actual danger. Charleston White is known for saying wild things on camera, but this shows there's a limit even for him. Whether people believe his fear was genuine or staged for attention, the fact remains, law enforcement was involved. That changes the stakes for everyone involved. Right now, both Charleston and Tia are leaning into their respective lanes. Charleston hasn't released an official statement beyond the livestream, but knowing his history, a follow-up video is almost guaranteed. Tia, meanwhile, continues posting, treating the whole thing like a punchline but also warning that people better keep my name out their mouth before things get legal on my side. Where this all goes next is anyone's guess. Will Charleston press charges? Will Tia countersue for defamation or harassment? Or will both sides decide it's better to let the dust settle and move on? One thing's clear. This wasn't just a moment of internet drama. It's a full-blown situation, not police reports, live stream receipts, and two personalities who don't seem interested in backing down. And in a digital world where clout and consequences often get tangled up, everyone's watching to see what happens next. Tia Kemp didn't exactly fade into the background either. Her next move. The internet couldn't look away. Now, fans are split down the middle. Did Charleston set her up? Did Tia push things too far? Or was this all some carefully staged internet circus? And just wait until you hear what surfaced from the 911 call log. This isn't just celebrity gossips bleeding into real-world consequences. Legal territory, maybe even the final strike against Charleston White's already shaky public image. To really get why things boiled over like this, you have to rewind. Charleston White and Tia Kemp's animosity didn't pop up overnight. This feud has been simmering for months, possibly years. Charleston's made a name for himself by unleashing ruthless, unfiltered rants aimed at everyone from Soulja Boy to T.I., sparing no one. But with Tia Kemp, Rick Ross's ex and someone seasoned in public battles, he might have finally met his match. It all ignited about 6 months ago. Charleston went live on Instagram, doing what he does, talking loud and reckless. This time, though, he aimed straight at Tia, calling her just another bitter baby mama, living off drama checks. Tia fired back hard. Within hours, she was herself airing out private receipts, dragging up past interviews, and accusing Charleston of building his brand by tearing down black women. Her exact words: "You bark loud like a dog, but I've seen puppies with more bite than you." From there, it was war. Online jabs, fans taking sides, comment sections exploding. Shade Room, Hollywood Unlocked, all the usual blogs kept tabs. But until last weekend, it was just internet static. Then it got real. Sources close to both camps say Charleston showed up uninvited to a charity event TIA was hosting in Miami. It was a community fundraiser, families, kids, cameras rolling. Charleston walks in like he owns the place, phone out, recording everything like he's storming a battlefield. Tia's response: swift and loud. Witnesses say she grabbed the mic, pointed right at him, and said, "I don't know who let this clown in here, but somebody better get him before I do." Security moved in fast. Things nearly shut down, but somehow Charleston left before it got physical. Or so everyone thought. Fast forward 3 nights. Charleston pops up live again, this time from a shadowy parking lot, flashing lights behind him. He's shouting into the camera, "I ain't no rapper. I ain't no street dude. I called the police. I pressed charges. Tia Kemp threatened me, harassed me, stalked me." People assumed he was bluffing, but the next morning, actual 911 audio hit the blogs. In it, Charleston says he's being targeted by a dangerous woman, Tia Kemp, naming her outright as Rick Ross's baby mama. The internet split in two, half calling Charleston a calculated victim, half calling him a clout chaser. But there was more. Turns out, Tia wasn't sitting on her hands. She'd been saving her own footage. In a now-deleted Instagram story, she teased it. "He called the cops. Bet. Let's drop some truth." And she did. Tia released raw, behind-the-scenes video from the event. Charleston is seen off in the corner, muttering under his breath, zooming in on faces with his phone. At one point, a woman asks him to stop recording. Charleston's reply: "I'll get all y'all locked up. Try me." Then he laughs, cold and deliberate. The footage blew up instantly. Twitter X was on fire with takes like, "Charleston really called the cops after starting it himself. And this is textbook snitch energy." But then, things took a sharper, darker twist. Leaked DMs surfaced allegedly from Charleston White's private team chat. If they're real, this wasn't heat of a moment, it was pre-planned. Screenshots, reportedly from a former assistant, show Charleston texting his team days before the charity event. The message read, "Watch how I make this chick go viral. Pull up, let her explode, get it on camera, then call the law. I'm too smart for these hood folks." That's not an accident. That's a setup. He openly bragged about baiting Tia into losing her cool just so he could spin it into content. When Charleston walked into that charity event, he didn't come quietly. He was whispering insults, filming kids, provoking people. One anonymous attendee told a blog he was saying things like, "You broke, watch me own your baby mama." Creepy. Eventually, Tia confronted him near the door. Someone filmed the whole thing. Gets since hit over 2.3 million views on TikTok. In the clip, Ti's yelling, "Get out of here with that weak energy. This is a community space. Nobody's scared of your fake activist stuff. Charleston, he just smirks. Quiet, but on audio enhanced by YouTube sleuths, you can hear him mutter, "I got what I needed. Time to press record on 911, and that's exactly what he did. 10 minutes later, police on the scene, Instagram live rolling. But here's the thing: the police report Charleston filed accused Tia of terroristic threats and endangering the event. Yet body cam footage from Miami PD tells a different story. One sergeant reportedly told Charleston, "Fed up, sir. From what I see here, you were filming people without consent, and you came to a private event uninvited. This doesn't really support your claims." That didn't stop Charleston from dropping his own edited video, slowing down Tia's reaction, layering dramatic music over it, making it seem like he was under attack. Fans weren't buying it. Comment sections lit up. Where's the full video? Why does he keep targeting women? Bro's editing his own fake victim clips now. And then came Tia's response. She went live, no glam, no background set. Just her, raw, and unfiltered. In the first 30 seconds, she stared into the camera and said, "I'm tired of men like this, weaponizing the police against black women. He came to my event, harassed my people, and when I told him to leave, he called the cops on me." Then she dropped the unedited footage. For angles, every second, Charleston whispering, filming kids, laughing while families looked confused. Public opinion swung fast. People were furious. One viral post summed it up. This man came to a kids' fundraiser just to start drama. Then tried to ruin a black woman's image. Nope, we're canceling him today. But Charleston wasn't done stirring the pot. He posted a screenshot of an alleged text exchange between T.I. and an unnamed rapper saying, "Don't worry, I'll get this fool handled." Whether that message is legit, no one knows. Tia called it fakant, even offered to let TMZ inspect her phone, so here we are. Charleston White, Tia Kemp, viral videos, police reports, and Rick Ross hovering in the shadows. Allegedly texting Tia advice like, "Handle it smart. Don't let him win." What started as petty internet beef has turned into something way bigger, a digital chess match with real-world stakes. And from the looks of it, the final move hasn't even been made yet. That's a dense situation. Here's the clearest version of what just happened. Charleston White is accused of orchestrating a setup against Tia Kemp, Rick Ross's ex, by provoking her at a charity event, recording her reaction, and calling 911 while framing it as harassment. Leaked DMI's videos, and a second voice, identified as Tony, the closer former NFL player turned influencer, suggest Charleston planned this for clout. Police reviewed Charleston's phone and found him admitting on video that it was a stunt before calling 911. That's now under official investigation for potential misuse of emergency services. Tia Kemp's team is pursuing a defamation lawsuit, and Rick Ross publicly backed her after initially staying quiet. Charleston's former videographer has come forward saying Charleston staged incidents like this before, implying this isn't a one-time thing. Twitter and celebrity commentary pushed this into a national conversation, with hashtags like #CharlestonWhiteExposed trending globally. Lastly, there's a hint that Tia Kemp has private paperwork or records about Charleston's past he didn't want public, possibly explaining why he targeted her specifically. If you want, I can help you outline this like a news recap, a social post thread, or even a timeline chart. How would you like to use this information? That's a wild escalation. Here's a direct, simplified breakdown of what you're describing so far. Tia Kemp publicly revealed a sealed document allegedly showing Charleston White as a federal informant, dating back to 2007. She called him out live, saying, "How long you been working with the feds?" Twitter, bloggers, and hip-hop media picked up on it immediately. The conversation shifted from clout chasing to full-blown expose. Charleston White tried denying everything in videos, but most commenters weren't buying it. His Instagram was suddenly deactivated and clear if he deleted it or it was removed. Tia Kemp's team is reportedly producing a documentary with full receipts, texts, videos, police reports, and it's being shopped to major streaming platforms. Then came the real kicker. A burner account leaked court records, police emails, and a voice note allegedly of Charleston admitting on tape to being a longtime informant since 2003, saying he targets rappers and loud-mouthed females. His ex-manager confirmed everything in a public Facebook post, saying all of Charleston's feuds and police calls were manufactured for views. That last piece, Charleston White's apparent confession and his ex-manager confirming it, is what really takes it from internet drama into serious real-world consequences. If you'd like, I can summarize this into a clean press release, a social media thread format, or a timeline chart that makes the sequence of events clearer. Just let me know the format or purpose you're aiming for. Charleston White versus Tia Kemp. Full breakdown of the ongoing saga, where it started. It all began when Charleston White, the internet's most unpredictable provocateur, made headlines for calling 911 on Tia Kemp. During a late-night live, Charleston told thousands of viewers that Tia was making threats against him. Midstream, he picked up the phone, dialed 911, and made it official. The internet exploded. Tia Kemp immediately clapped back, saying it was all a setup. According to her, she never threatened Charleston and had no reason to. Her words, "This man is trying to play me for views. Y'all really believe I'd risk my freedom over some internet back and forth?" At first, it seemed like a classic case of he said, but what blew it up into something much bigger was what came next. What blew it up? Not even 24 hours after Charleston's livestream, leaked audio hit the web. In this recording, allegedly from Charleston's own 911 call, fans noticed something odd, a second voice. And that voice belonged to none other than Tony the Closer. For context, Tony the Closer is a former athlete turned entrepreneur and influencer, with his own history of stirring the pot online. His involvement sent the whole situation into overdrive. Internet detectives, YouTubers, and Twitter threads broke it down second by second. At first, you hear Charleston explaining the situation to dispatchers. Then, faintly in the background, another voice chimes in. "Say this. Don't forget that part. .. Listeners quickly identified the voice as Tony, based on past interviews and public content. At this point, things looked less like a genuine 911 call and more like a carefully orchestrated play. That suspicion was confirmed when screenshots surfaced of a group chat between Charleston, Tony the Closer, and several unnamed contacts. In the chat, Charleston allegedly wrote, "We about to run this up. Watch how mad she gets." Another message read, "Gotta make it look real though. Can't have folks thinking it's staged." Tony allegedly added, "Let's get that clip trending by morning." Now, whether those screenshots are authentic is still up for debate, but they spread like wildfire across blogs, Twitter, Reddit, and YouTube gossip channels. The fallout, once this evidence came to light, public opinion shifted dramatically. A lot of fans who initially took Charleston's side started pulling back. "I was rocking with Charleston until now," one Twitter user posted. "If they really staged that 911 call, that's beyond foul." Another popular post said, "You don't play with the police like that. People really out here getting locked up over less." Tia Kemp, for her part, wasted no time using the new information to her advantage. She went live again, this time with a much more serious tone. "Y'all see it now, right?" she said to viewers. "This man tried to set me up. I wasn't lying." She hinted at potential legal action, stating that her team was handling things behind the scenes. And according to sources close to Tia, her camp is considering pressing charges for defamation and filing complaints for misuse of emergency services. As for Charleston White and Tony the Closer, they've both gone relatively quiet since the leaked audio and group chat screenshots hit. Charleston dropped a short video saying, "Y'all believe anything on the internet. Ain't no setup, just real life." Tony posted a cryptic Instagram story with the text, "Don't let the internet fool you, stay focused." But neither has directly addressed the leaked evidence in full. What's next? At this point, things have escalated far beyond a typical social media feud. Legal experts weighing in on blogs and YouTube commentary channels say there could be serious consequences if the group chat leaks are verified. Filing a false police report is no joke. Depending on jurisdiction, it could mean fines, probation, or even jail time. Plus, given both Charleston and Tony's high public profiles, there's the added weight of public scrutiny. Fans are now watching closely to see if official charges get filed against Charleston or Tony, whether Tia Kemp's legal team makes a public move, and if either Charleston or Tony will finally tell the full story, or stick to silence. Why it matters. This saga isn't just another blip on the internet drama radar. It's a reflection of how clout culture and real-world consequences keep overlapping. What starts as entertainment for viewers to personalities trading barbs online can quickly become something far more serious. When police are called, when legal teams get involved, When potential setups are exposed through leaked evidence, it stops being about likes and views and turns into a real-life cautionary tale. In short, Charleston White called 911 on Tia Kemp, claiming she threatened him. Leaked audio revealed. Tony the closer was involved in the call. Group chats allegedly show Charleston and Tony plotting a staged setup for clout. Tia Kemp is considering legal action, and public opinion has shifted. Both Charleston and Tony have yet to give full explanations. Where it goes from here is still up in the air. But one thing's clear, everyone's watching. And in today's digital world, the truth has a funny way of coming out. One screenshot, one leaked recording, or one unexpected live stream at a time. That's the thing about internet feuds now. They don't just burn hot and fade away, they evolve. What starts as a single post or video can spiral into days, even weeks, of fresh leaks, new evidence, shifting allegiances, and public fallout. In the case of Charleston White versus Tia Kemp, what looked like a late-night stunt has now become something resembling a full-blown public trial. With fans, followers, and even legal experts playing the role of jury. Right now, both sides are holding their breath. Charleston has remained mostly silent since the leaked audio and group chat screenshots surfaced. That silence speaks volumes. Normally, Charleston is known for dropping multiple videos a day, quick to respond to any accusation or clapback, but this time, it's been radio silence, save for a few cryptic posts. People are speculating whether legal counsel has advised him to stay quiet, or if he's working behind the scenes on a strategy to spin things his way. Tia Kemp, on the other hand, has been slightly more active. Her live streams have taken on a more serious tone. She isn't just laughing things off anymore. She's positioning herself as the victim in all of this, someone who was targeted and manipulated by two larger internet personalities looking for clout at her expense. During her most recent stream, she even said, "This ain't just some YouTube beef. This is my real life. And trust me, I got receipts of my own." That comment sent her followers into a frenzy. What receipts does Tia Kemp have? Could there be even more private conversations, messages, or voice notes that haven't seen the light yet? In internet culture, receipts are everything. Screenshots, videos, voice recordings, those are the weapons of modern-day disputes. The threat that Tia might have more proof waiting in the wings is keeping both her supporters and critics glued to her feed. Meanwhile, fan pages and gossip blogs continue digging deeper. Twitter threads have mapped out entire timelines when the first livestream happened, when the 911 call audio leaked, when the group chat screenshots appeared. Each cryptic post from Charleston and Tony since. Some fans have even gone as far as to cross-reference audio waveforms from Charleston's past videos to confirm the second voice on the 911 call. It's become a full-on investigation, crowdsourced and fueled by digital curiosity. And through all of this, there's a larger conversation taking shape around accountability. In the age of social media, where the line between content and real life is blurrier than ever, where do we draw that line? When does a clout chase become dangerous? When does entertainment cross into harassment, defamation, or even criminal territory? Charleston and Tony aren't just any two people arguing online. They have large platforms, influence, and reach. That's why this situation feels so amplified. Their actions don't just affect themselves, they impact the lives and reputations of others. Where things ultimately land depends on a few key variables now. Whether law enforcement follows up on the allegedly false police report, if Tia Kemp decides to file charges or launch a lawsuit, whether Charleston and Tony choose to clear the air publicly, admit fault, or double down on denial. But no matter how things play out, one fact remains: the internet never forgets. What's already been posted, clipped, shared, and saved is out there permanently. And in the court of public opinion, silence doesn't always help. Sometimes it only raises more questions. So as it stands today, all eyes remain locked on Charleston, Tia, and Tony, waiting, refreshing feeds, checking stories, watching for the next live stream, the next screenshot, the next piece of audio that could tilt everything in a new direction. Because in this era, the truth doesn't just come out once. It keeps unfolding, one post, one leak, one unexpected moment at a time. Authorities began investigating Charleston for filing a false police report. The major turning point: Tia Kemp revealed a sealed document claiming Charleston was a federal informant since 2007. Former team members confirmed Charleston allegedly manufactured online drama for attention, targeting women specifically. Court documents and audio clips were leaked showing Charleston admitting to cooperating with law enforcement in exchange for record clearance. The fallout: Charleston's Instagram deactivated, sponsorships dropped him. YouTube monetization under review. Cease and desist orders issued. Allegations of untreated paranoia disorder surfaced via a family member. What's next? Tia Kemp announced she's holding back one final piece of evidence, a receipt she's saving for court. Rumored full-length documentary expose is being shopped to platforms like Netflix and Tubi. Open questions: will Charleston White face actual criminal charges? Will Tia Kemp follow through with a multi-million-dollar lawsuit? Will Rick Ross get officially involved? And what is the final evidence T.I. is holding back? If you want, I can help you write this as a YouTube video, script to Twitter, X thread, a blog article formatter. Just give you the key facts only in bullet points. Let me know what tone or platform you're working with.